Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got some time. It's your boy Casual Rail with the Silent A podcast. And for this, let's get straight into it. You already heard the rumors, the stories, the breakouts, you name it. Yeah, Mr. Errol the True Spence is supposed to return July 2026. Yes, Mr. Man Down himself, strap season, the big fish, returning July 2026 against the likes of Tim Tszyu. We'll go ahead and say this right now. This is a good fight. This is a damn good fight. I'm excited for this fight, but I can't get overly invested yet. I got to see some paperwork. I got to see a press conference. I got to even see these two brothers go to weigh in before I just get too locked in, right? We thought we were going to see that Sebastian Fundora and Errol True Spence fight for the longest. They even got in the ring with each other. Quick face-off, photo op, you name it, and back and forth negotiations, you name it. And nothing materialized, right? But here we are. This one's pretty strong. Shout out to Mike Comperture, in his journalism and breaking this news out first for us in Ring Magazine. If this is true, I'm ready for it. And you've seen our past videos. There's two things I want to see from Mr. Errol the True Spence before we even get to this showdown. Is he physically ready? And is he mentally ready? If neither of those pass the mustard, then I really don't want to see my brother back because I don't want to see him get hurt. But with that said, he looks physically in shape, sharp. Now we got to see some more workout footage and sparring. We've seen a few things get dropped, but he looks good physically. Best weight you've probably seen him in his years of his career. Sober. That's most important. Sober and in shape. Now we got to see if he's mentally sharp and focused and ready to go. That's going to come out more once we get closer to the fight, the press conferences, and see how he moves in the ring and how his footwork is looking, how his defense is looking. But with that said, if those two things pass, Errol the True Spence should be back in action after a 3-year layoff. And honestly, I think he should beat Tim Tszyu, even though he's going down to Australia to do it. I think Tim Tszyu is the perfect fighter to come back against, especially at the 154-pound division. He's not defensively sound, but good pressure fighter. Not defensively sound, but a good pressure fighter. That's something that's a good recipe for a comeback fight, especially for a guy like Errol the True Spence. Why do I say this? Is because Tim Tszyu, number one, is similar in stature to Errol the True Spence. He's one of the smaller 154-pounders. That's a good guy to step in with, get the feel out the 154-pound division. You've been out 3 years. You don't want to walk into a big guy like Sebastian Fundora. Although he's slim, the guy's 6'5", 6'6". And some of these other killers that's walking around at the 154-pound division that's been weighing in nice, the Jerron Boots Ennis's, the Virgil Ortiz. We got another video for that, by the way. They should be locking in their deal soon. And then you've got, all these names at 154 pounds that are cracking and are moving. But these guys are pretty thick, pretty big, pretty good sized guys that can also do some punching. No disrespect to Mr. Tim Tszyu himself, because he can do some punching himself. He's a good fighter, a good pressure fighter, like I said earlier. But more importantly, his defense in this case for Errol True Spence seems to be lackluster. And more importantly, again, the stature and the attributes are very similar to that of Mr. Errol True Spence. In fact, I expect Spence to be the bigger fighter in that match. That's a perfect comeback fight, a perfect style, a perfect stature fighter to get it on at 154 pounds. Now, with that said, I expect the, pressure from Tim Tszyu to challenge Errol to kind of see if he does still have it. Can he take a punch from a guy like Tim Tszyu, who has a decent knockout ratio, but not the strongest puncher at the 154-pound division? Do you still have it? Can you still take that punch? Do you have some new and improved defense to stave off the likes of this pressure fighter? And then more importantly, can we get his confidence back in that body punching, meaning Errol True Spence? He used to break that body down of the fighters and knock guys out late. Does he still have it against a guy like Tim Tszyu, who does lack head movement, who does lack a little bit of defense? He's not sloppy on defense. He's just a warrior. He just likes to come head first and get some punching going. Now, in his last couple fights, he has tried to move around. To me, in that second Sebastian Fundora fight, he actually tried to implement a little bit of movement and coming in and out and use his feet a little bit more, especially being a smaller fighter. It still just didn't work out in his case. Sebastian Fundora just has Tim Tszyu's number. This is a good comeback fight, but it is dangerous. Tim Tszyu can very well win this fight. I do expect Errol to win it if it's the Errol who is physically and mentally ready. Even the Errol of old, the one that got beat by Terrence Bud Crawford, I would expect that Errol, even in that shape, to beat a guy like Tim Tszyu. And that's no disrespect. It's just that Errol, a lot of people forget, Errol is still an elite fighter. He just lost to a better fighter. If Errol can come in, again, physically sharp, mentally in shape, ready to go, I see him beating Tim Tszyu. I'm not sure by stoppage or anything like that, but it'll probably be like a good decision victory. Can he stop him? Yeah. Tim Tszyu has been stopped before, but he had to take a lot of punishment for that to happen, or got hit just right by the guys like Murtav. But I do expect him to come in and put in some work, knock off that ring rust, go about good 12 rounds with Mr. Tim Tszyu, and put on a show and show the fight fans what we've been missing, and more importantly, shut up the haters about a guy like Errol the True Spence, who lost to another elite fighter like Terrence Bud Crawford, but he himself, who took his first loss, is still one of the best in the game, and show you how to do a true comeback with no real tune-ups. I'm here for it. Let's rock out with the brothers. Salute to Errol the True Spence. I wish the fight would actually go down in Dallas. Maybe it's still time to negotiate that fight or move it around, but we shall see. Either way, we'll see if that fight gets really signed, still deliver when the press conferences come, man. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe. It's your boy Cash Rebel with the Sound 8 Podcast. Till the next time.